Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. So today's topic is mindset, and we're asking the question of, what are you here for? So any of my personal trainers who listen to this, you will all start laughing as I tell the first part of the story here. So what got me thinking of this topic for a podcast was a client came in, and as usual, they came in underfed, underslept, and just not mentally ready for the workout. So I commonly ask clients, hey, how's it going? You know, when they come through the door. And I just want to know, is your body okay? Is there anything we have to address with your body? And I have yet to find a great way to ask that question to where I don't get the response of, oh man, you know, I didn't get my sleep right, or oh, this came up, and blah, 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 whine. And 99.9% of the time, people whine and bitch about the exact same things every single time you see them. So I've told clients before, and some of my clients are laughing right now, but I've told my clients before that I do care about their lives, and like, if your dog died, I want to, you know, celebrate the dog, tell some stories, you know, like if you're having like trouble at work, we can kind of talk about that. Like, I don't mind being a little bit of like a guidance counselor or something like that for my clients for brand new complaints. But if you have the same damn whiny baby complaint every time you come into the gym, it drives me nuts. I am not your garbage can that you can dump the shit of your life onto. And no trainer is that. So no one should treat their trainer that way. And trainers, it's okay if you get frustrated with clients trying to dump their shit on you. Doesn't make you a bad person. No one wants to get crap dumped on them all day, and especially when it's the same stuff that people can control. So I used to have a client once who every single time they came to the gym, I'd say, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm just tired, you know, I didn't get sleep. And I said, okay, so normal. You're normal. And the reason why I kept saying that was because, no lie, not an exaggeration, it was like 6 months of every single time you saw the person, they complained about being tired. That is no longer tired, that's just your normal. If you're not doing anything about it, then apparently you're okay enough with it to not have to do anything about it. You don't make any changes in your life. So I would just say, oh, so you're normal. And they would kind of like roll their eyes a little bit and be like, yeah, I guess so. And it's like, okay, we're moving on. So, but that's what ends up happening is people come into the training sessions, and what the trainer thinks they're there for is to train hard, test their body, push themselves to the limits, and let's get a step closer to our goal. So if our goal is fat loss, we're going to come in and tear off some body fat. We're going to beat the body up and get it moving. If our goal is strength, we're going to lift some heavy shit, and we're going to learn how to do better technique. We're going to get stronger today. If our goal is muscle damage, well then by golly, we're going to damage as much muscle as we can. So that would be our goal, is as a trainer. So that's what we think. Too often when the clients come in, they don't have any of that on their mind. So they're just trying to survive their day to the point where they walk through the door. So they were not ready, everything else had going on. Maybe they just got off a business phone call. Maybe they really did only get like 4 hours of sleep that night. You know, they have a lot of stuff going on in their life. So as when they walk through the door, they didn't leave the world outside. That world just kind of trickled in the door with them. So sometimes it takes clients a while to settle down and kind of get in the right frame of mind. So that's one thing, like when a client comes in, and you can tell because, you know, they're yapping during their warm-ups rather than actually paying attention to what they're doing. Or like you'll be doing something, they go, oh, this is getting hard. And I'm like, you're only at like 70% of what you did last time. So if they did like, say, 100 pounds on an exercise, and they're at like 70, and they're like, this is getting heavy. And I'm like, you have 30 more pounds to go to what we've already done well before. So how about we not whine like a little baby until it actually gets hard? So, but I know I sound like a complete jerk to everybody else, but the trainers listening to this will be laughing. It's just people come in, they're complaining, they're whining. Like when they do well at something and you want to add weight, they're like, oh my gosh, you're going to add weight? Well, yeah. So it has to be challenging for it to be effective. If you did it well, you have earned more weight, so that way we can actually improve over time. If you do it well and we just leave you at the same pathetic weight, you're going to stay pathetic. So you got to move up. There has to be a challenge, okay? So that often drives me absolutely insane, is that what are they here for? So the question of that is, what are you here for? What did you show up to the gym today for? And the trainer is going to say, we showed up to push our current body to its absolute limits, get it really uncomfortable, and force a change. So that's what the trainer is going to say. Okay? We're going to get to a new level of uncomfortable, not the same comfortable uncomfortable. So not the same level of uncomfortable you always get to. It actually isn't uncomfortable because you always do it. Okay? We have to get to new uncomfortable if we want a new body. That's the way it works. Okay? So when you're in the gym, you should be there for work and for progress, not for comfort, not for therapy, not for whining, none of that stuff. So we want to be there to move forward and be aggressive and do our best. So something I've done with past clients is whenever their mindsets have negatively impacted the potential for our progress, I will tell them. And we come up with some ideas, so we might modify the way we start our workout to give them 5 or 10 minutes of, like, say, mobility, movement restoration type work and specific cueing for certain exercises to where it's lower intensity. It gives them 5 or 10 minutes to kind of get their mind settled and ready for what they're about to do. So rather than jumping into something aggressive and complex right away, you give them kind of 5 or 10 minutes to kind of ease into it. I've had other clients where I'll tell them, I got one client who was awesome. He used to have a note card in the visor of his truck, and he would listen to like heavy metal on the way to the gym. And he on that note card was the top 3 reasons why he wanted to work out and be healthy. And it was like family, and some other odds and ends. I'm not going to give you his list because that's personal to him. But there were good reasons on there. So he would pull up into the parking lot, he'd flip the visor down, read through the reasons, listen to the music, get his mind right. And when he walked through that door, he'd walked in the door 1,000,000 miles an hour. So it was awesome. I went from one like kind of nuisance of the person being like a Debbie Downer, and then all of a sudden the next, like when it started working and everything was going well, they came in flying through the gates. So I had to have everything ready, set up right away. They were bouncing off the wall. They were just ready to go. So it's freaking awesome. So we've done things in different ways to kind of get people ready. And that's, I do understand the struggle clients face. Because this is all I do all day. This is what I love. This is my passion. More often than not, our clients are not going to be as passionate about training as we are as trainers. So we have to recognize that they're going to need some coaxing into it. They have some demands outside of their day, outside of this training session in their normal life, that are going to distract them. So work with your clients to try to, first of all, let them know if their mindset is negatively impacting their results. Don't hide that from them because they're going to not get results and they're going to blame you. Okay? So if their mindset is a problem, let them know, obviously in a kind way. So let them know in a kind, caring way. So how you would tell, like, your brother or sister or your mom or dad or something like that, somebody that you love, how you would kind of break the news to them. Do that the same to your client, okay? They need to know it for long-term improvement, so it's a little bit of tough love. Just remember the love part of the tough love. And then work with them to find out what their issue is. So I had a client in the past where they came in and they were just yap, and weren't paying attention to anything and bouncing around everywhere. And I was just like, for the love of God, you have got to calm down. And what we found out is they came in, they had gotten up, drank caffeine, got their kids off to school, took like a pre-workout, and then came flying through the door. And I was like, that is way too much caffeine. We got to get rid of some of that caffeine. And I think I might have said they took caffeine, but I meant they drank coffee. So they drank coffee, dropped the kids off, took a pre-workout, and then came in. So way too much caffeine. So we kind of got rid of one of those and replaced it with actual food. So carbohydrates that we actually were fed and fueled for the workout, and it helped. They thought they needed the pre-workout to have a ton of energy for the workout, when I was able to tell them, you have plenty of energy. You have too much energy. So let's pull off on that pre-workout. Let's have, some carbs instead. That way you're fueled. And then let's just go off some more natural energy, so that way I can actually rein you in. So I used to joke with them, it was like trying to herd cats. It was just like absolutely scattered in chaos. So it was funny, but that's the idea, is working with your clients to pull their mindset in. Now, if you're not a trainer, how do you do this for yourself? is the same things. So you would just try to figure out, what is holding me back? Why, when I'm there, why do I not want to be there? Or why do I have trouble focusing? So if you go to the gym and you just don't like working out, okay, that's going to be an issue you want to look at. So, and what you can do is, again, like that one guy I worked with, remind yourself why you're there, why you want to be healthy. Try to motivate yourself, remind yourself of the good reasons. Try to find ways of training or ways of exercising that you enjoy more, okay? So you don't have to do things you hate if you absolutely hate it. So find something that's more of a blend of what you might actually like. And also doing things in groups and partners helps. So that way, misery loves company, as they say. So you can kind of complain with somebody else about how you hate working out, but that does help. So doing things in groups or classes and having a training partner. So that's what we want to think of is when we're in the gym is, what am I here for? Like, what's the purpose of me being here? The purpose of me being here is to actually put in effort and work. Yes, this is going to be uncomfortable, but being uncomfortable leads to what I want. If I come in and I skirt around the uncomfortable and I, whine and act like a baby and just do the same pathetic stuff I always do, you're never going to move forward. Okay? You have to challenge yourself. And not a successful, easy, challenge like you're trying to, kick a kicking ball, like kickball in gym classes just sitting there. Okay? You have to pick challenges that are actually freaking hard. So don't try to inflate your ego with bullshit small challenges that you can do well just because they're pathetic and small. So challenge yourself big time, okay? Really push yourself and see what you can do. And then this also leads us to outside of the gym. We can ask that same question of ourselves, is when we're outside of the gym and we're in real life, what are you here for? Okay? Are you here to just survive the day? Just kind of meander through life and kind of get your to-do list done, check off all the boxes of what should be done and how you should be and how you should live? Or are we here to kind of do a little more than that? Are we here to live a little healthier, live a little happier, have a little more excitement, maybe have some bigger goals than just surviving each single day? Okay? So what are you here for? What do you want to do with your life? Are you investing into the happiness of your loved ones around you? Or are you just kind of all mindlessly going through life together? Kind of falling in the same routine, ho-hum. You're comfortable, they're comfortable, but there's no more excitement. There's no more fun. There's no more something that makes you excited to get up every day for. And that's what we want to think of when we look at life. Okay? So I recently saw, for parents out there, I saw a mom who went to an event with her son, and I don't think the event would have been really of any interest to her. She was doing it because she was a good mom. She was super excited, taking lots of photos, was all into it because her son was into it. She was fully investing into his life. And when I saw that, like on social media, it just made me smile, and I actually wanted to kind of like just give her a hug and just tell her she's an awesome mom. And it was just so neat to see someone dive into another person's life, because the smiles of their son in the pictures were so genuine, and you could see it really was really cool for the son to have that experience, and it would have been super awesome that his mom was there with him and sharing it. So I think that's really, really cool when you're a parent, is that becomes part of, like, what are you here for? You're here to be a good parent. You're here to teach your children, like, how to live life. So one of my favorite books is a book by Jordan Peterson called 12 Rules of Life. I think it's like that. Something along that title. It's 12 Rules to Life. Or 12 Rules to Live By. And one of the rules is don't let your kids be assholes. So, as a parent, your job is to raise your children so they're not the punk asshole that we all have to deal with when they become an adult. Okay? So, and I think it's so awesome when you see parents dive into that, to where you celebrate and you love life with your kids, but you also slow down. You can be stern, you can be strict, you can teach them the lessons they need to know. Your job is to teach them how to be not just functioning adults, but actually like effective, healthy, happy, good, high character adults. So if your minimal goal is just to make them functioning, okay, they know how to get a job and stay out of jail. That actually is some of an accomplishment, so good for that. So, but there's more to it. You know, try to teach them how to develop their character. Try to teach them how to be more disciplined, how to parent themselves. Like, wherever, as a parent yourself, whatever you struggle with in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, try to see if you can teach your child how not to have that same problem. So if you struggle with a work-to-life balance, learn how to correct that a little bit yourself, and then teach your children not to do the same. If you struggle with healthy nutrition, learn how to correct that yourself, and teach your children not to do the same. If you struggle with being physically active, again, learn how to do it yourself, teach your children not to be the same. So save them from the things that burdened your life. You know, if you've had like decades-long struggles with stuff, make sure your kids don't have to live that same way. So I think that's a really good purpose for parents, and that can be what you were here for. Okay? And that could take everything you got to get that accomplished. But that is something to think of. Okay? If you have a spouse, you know, if you're in a relationship, you can think again, what am I here for? So you're here to be their cheerleader. You're here to be their counselor, their shoulder to cry on, their support system in the down times and the up times. You know, celebrate with them and then, you know, console them when things don't go well. Your goal as a spouse is to be best friends. So you want to try to go through this crazy process of life together. You know, life is not easy. It's never going to go well. There's going to be, you know, times where things just go crazy. And that's the goal of being a spouse, is to share that ride with the person. Share the journey. Be each other's support system. Be each other's best friend. So that's what spouses are for. That can be something of what you are here for in your life, is to be the best friend for your spouse. Okay? So think about it. Like, what are you here for? What's the purpose of your life? What do you want your life to do, or how do you want it to influence or affect the people in the world around you? Okay? Think about it. What gives you excitement in life? What do you feel passionate about? What makes you happy? Whatever that is, try to do more of it. It's true, you can't maybe, like, I'm very fortunate I get to do my passion as a career. And I absolutely try every single day to never take that for granted. So I, you know, thank God every day that I was able to do, that He was able to put me into this position, and that I was able to live up to what was needed to make it work. And I'm very grateful for that. But not everybody gets to do that. So whatever your passion is, just try to get more of it in your life as much as you can. You know, like, you can share it with other people, in the sense of like being in a group with somebody, or you can try to teach somebody. So whatever your passion might be, see if you can get more involved into that. And that'll give you a bigger sense of purpose, a bigger sense of what you're here for in life. Okay? Whatever that might be, whatever that excites you, chase after it. Okay? Invest into it, dive into it with all you have. So whether it's in the gym, okay, in your workouts, or whether it's in life, wherever you are in, whether you're in gym or in life, be all in. Okay? There was a post I made on our social media pages recently, I think it was yesterday, about a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. And you can look that up. We have a Facebook and Instagram page, and Twitter, actually, under Brutal Iron Gym. So go ahead and search that, and you'll see a picture of a young black and white picture of a kid who was a street sweeper. And the quote, in a sense, says, it's not what you do in life, it's how you do it. So if you're called to be a street sweeper, which in the sense of the quote is, if you're called to do something that most wouldn't deem to be high esteem or high prestige, whatever you're called to do it to the absolute best of your abilities. Be the best you can be at it. Because it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Okay? That's what defines character. And that's what life is about, is having character. So if you search after, you know, fame, fortune, prestige, that's all stuff that has to be given to you by other people, or has to be a perception of other people. And that's all stuff that can fade at any time. But your character stays with you. Your actions, your thoughts, the things that you bring to the world and give to the world, whether it's good vibes, bad vibes, you know, good actions, bad actions, the difference you make in the world, that's yours. That'll stand the test of time. That is how you are going to be judged in life. Okay? It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So if you're going to do something, whether it's working out, okay, or being a spouse, being a parent, whatever it is that you want to do in the gym or out of the gym, be all in. Be the absolute best you can be at it. Okay? So remember, what are you here for? And whatever that is, do it with all your might. Cool. Okay? Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that gave you some positive thoughts for the day. So if you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. Also, if you like the podcast, please share it with family and friends. So the more people we help, the happier the world will be. So if you have anybody you think that might be struggling with their purpose in life or their purpose in the gym, send them the podcast and maybe it'll help. Okay? And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. So this podcast truly is meant to be just whatever you guys want it to be. So anything you want to learn about, we would love to do a podcast on it. So please let us know if you have any questions or anything. Whether it's something that's holding you back, or whether it's just a curiosity kind of thing, just let us know. Our email is brutalirongym@gmail.com, and we'll make a podcast about it, or we'll make sure we'll get you the answer in some way. Okay? So, as always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.